there's been a drought more painful than the Yankees World Series drought since 2009. But this drought started in 2014. It's the Ef5 drought. An Ef5 is a tornado that is most violent on the enhanced Fuji scale, which measures the intensity of tornadoes based on the damage that they cause. An Ef5 tornado has the wind speeds that are greater than 200 miles an hour or 322 kilometers an hour and can cause incredible damage to buildings, vehicles, vegetation. Ef5s can sweep away homes, crash trucks, damage skyscrapers, and whip out grass. This drought has happened luckily since 2013, but unluckily for people like me who want to experience a lot in our time on Earth, there has been an Ef5 drought since 2013. Fun fact, there was 4 Ef5s in one day on April 27, 2011. Across Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee, it's a record. 223 tornadoes touched down in the southeast that day and around that day. But the thing is, if we have an Ef5, this year could be the year. There's been... It's looking like it's looking promising from my point of view. I mean, it's cold down south now. The Gulf of Mexico brings warm air in. The Rocky Mountains bring cold air in. And what happens is that the Rocky Mountains are right here in Colorado. And it bringing in cold air this way. And the Gulf of Mexico it's wanting to bring cold air down to here. And the Gulf of Mexico is bringing warm air up into Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. And the air just is pushing. And then it starts rotating. And if the wind speeds get greater than 200 miles an hour, an Ef5 can occur. So, what do you do when an Ef5 comes? The best thing to do is to get underground, because Ef5s, a tornado usually has a straight path, and then when it's about to dissipate, it turns more to the left. And when it turns to the left, it can either dissipate or go into a loop. So it's going to loop around and go the other way, like this. And if the tornado is strong enough, it can last for over 40 minutes, 80 miles, and it can go over 50 miles an hour while traveling. That's not including the wind speed. But if an Ef5 occurs, it's mostly back to back to back, like on the same day, same month. May is a critical point to watch out for Ef5s. And April 27, 2011 was devastating to the southeast. So when the Ef5 occurs, the best thing to do is to go underground. Ef4, Ef3, go underground. I mean, because it can just keep going, and then it just goes. And you don't know which direction some of these. Even the Ef3 can just change direction after a loop. I mean, the enhanced Fuji scale is critical to assessing damages after hurricanes. I meant tornadoes. Hurricanes are a different video. And when Ef5s happen, you gotta play. I mean, if you get caught in Ef5, chances of getting out of there, not good. So, especially in the Southeast, in the Midwest, that is tornado. Dixie Alley, Tornado Alley. I mean, this just causes spin and spin. Spin, 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 spin. And when tornadoes, you don't know. Because when they touch down, you don't know where they're going to go. If they're going to dissipate in 2 minutes. You don't know if they're going to go for 100 miles. So the best thing, I'm telling you, just go underground. Here in Ohio, we have like an Ef2 last year, I would say. Destroyed the airport in London, where I'm from. And the airport was destroyed, and it touched down about 2 miles, maybe 5 miles from my house. And that, if I was in bed, it happened at like 5 in the morning. I would have, knowing what I know now, I would have loved to watch it. But the best thing to do, if you want to watch it from a distance. And when it comes if it's coming towards you, get underground. It's critical for survival that you get underground. Because if an Ef5 happens, it's going to devastate a lot of stuff. People. I don't even know if I'm spelling it right because I'm doing it fast. Trees. Buildings. I mean, it could decimate cars. I mean, if you don't get underground, your chances of survival are slim to none. And, I mean, Ef5s, golly, if there's an Ef5 in your area ever, go underground. Unless you're a professional storm chaser, go underground. Because if an Ef5 happens, people, tree, build, cars, gone. I mean, once you get in that wind, it's like that coin machine that kept rolling, rolling. And eventually it's not going to go to the center. It's going to fling out. Because Ef5s, I mean, the last one it was in 2013. You got to be prepared for them anytime. Because an Ef5 could damage not only your structure, it's going to rip everything in its path. Nothing will survive, really. But, this is not good when you have an Ef5 available at your disposal. Get underground. I am telling you, Ef5s are a more devastating drought that, from storm chasers' perspective, than the Yankees World Series drought since 2009. Because if you got an Ef5, get underground. Pray. That is the key. Don't go outside until you're told by TV professionals, cops, that you can. Because your house is probably, if you're in a basement, a storm shelter, it's probably covered in debris. This is the foundation, the door. It's just going to be covered up the heel in debris. The Ef5 is literally not a thing to take lightly. I mean, some of the biggest hurricanes of all time in recent memory weren't even Ef5s. An Ef5 is critical critical to dose and diagnose quickly. And this, I'm an amateur. I want to tell you all that. An amateur. I don't know much. I'm just telling you the facts and what could happen if an Ef5 hits this year. From my point of view, I hope it doesn't, for people's sakes. And if it does, happens in a rural area, very rural, because that's the only way people don't die, is nobody's in it. If there's buildings all around and it goes in the middle of a road, Ef5s can be up to 2.6 miles was the biggest one in recent memory. And that was the Ef3. That was an Ef3 that was 2.6 miles across in diameter. And remember, Ef5, bad thing. Bad thing. Ef5 is a bad thing. So, how do you know if it's an Ef5? You gotta do a lot of studying. Like me, I couldn't tell you if it's an Ef5. An Ef5 is one of the most devastating natural disasters that could spawn in the lower 48 United States, even Hawaii and Alaska. But Oklahoma, that is tornado nation. You talk about the Indian tribes there, but that is tornado nation. Tornado nation. So, what to do if you have an Ef5? Go underground. Go underground. Go underground. Ef1, even the Ef0, just go underground. It's that simple. Once you hear the tornado silence, just go. Even if before. That's why they test them here every week at noon on Wednesday. They always do. Because that's how we know if they work. And a fact is that they can spawn out of nowhere, like literally, and they don't know the weather stations until after the fact, or if it's 2 miles from a city. In those 2 miles, you can only have like 60 seconds to go to shelter, sometimes even less. So, and if you're in a car, get in a ditch. Drive your car in a ditch even. I wouldn't suggest, get under something if you can. That's in your car, hold it. But if it blows away, or let go. That's what I would do. But always get in a ditch. If you can, I'm telling you, if an Ef5 happens in Ohio anytime soon, I got it. I got you guys. Anywhere near Ohio, I will be there. Hopefully. I'm just starting out warning about Ef5s, but I just wanted to take this warning, give you guys a warning at the beginning of tornado season that this is 2 months in advance. Get underground if an Ef5's coming. Not even Ef5. Ef0 up, an F5, IF5, IF4. Just go underground. Minimize casualties. I'm Alex Coleman, and hopefully the Ef5 route continues.